I'm back! Hopefully not 33 or 78. Okay, some people are going to understand what I just said there, and it might confuse a few. Howdy, 45. Great to see you. Great to see all of you. There's 2 people in. One person's not talking yet. That's okay, though. Nobody has to talk. It is not required. For those of you who saw the first section of this, howdy, Mark. Great to see you, sir. As I was saying, for those of y'all who saw the first section of this, I barely even got started, didn't even get the light in my cigar, and my mother-in-law was saying, "Can I get you to run up to the store and pay a bill for me?" Huva ilta, Boris. Though I guess it's actually really late at night right now. So, okay, so I'll start back over with that story. I barely got started with the first live stream. Didn't even get to the cigar lighting, fortunately. Sorry, old-fashioned. We might as well I might as well enjoy myself. Howdy, Martin. Yes, take 2, so to speak. So, I'm just getting to the point where I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to light this cigar, I'm going to have a good time, kick back, relax. Now, it's a Churchill. That's 2.5 hours, possibly 3, as long as I'm on a live stream. But my mother-in-law comes to the door and she asks, "First, do I need to have the light on?" By the way, I gotta go turn the light on. Now, that light bulb and that light bulb here on the outside, they're both LED. By themselves, they run both of them at the same time about 2 pennies an hour, 2 cents. So they're not really expensive. Howdy, Sharon Adams. Great to see you, ma'am. So yeah, first thing she asks is, do you have to have the lights on? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to. Howdy, Paul. Great to see you, sir. Hopefully all is well there in the London, which is why I like to do a 3 o'clock tailgate, is because our friends over in Europe, they're about to lay down and go to sleep if they're hanging out late. So when I got to postpone and put this on halt, I might miss some of these lovely people, which really kind of irks me. So, needless to say, yes, my mother-in-law threw a big freaking wrench in the middle of the works saying, I need you to go pay a bill. And you shouldn't be running this light when it's still light outside. And I says, yeah, but with the clouds up and possibly that it looks like it's going to start raining, yeah, I very well might need this. It's kind of hard to be seen. I know, this is just for fun, but still. Sometimes it's the only fun I get in a day. It's cold, you're overworked and underpaid. Well, Paul, at least you're worked and paid. Could be like me, worked and not paid. I want a job so bad, it's ridiculous. Leave these women over here doing for themselves. Watch me laughing at them. I swear to God, they just about won't do a damn thing. If something's more than 5 foot 5 inches off the ground, Donald, I need you to get this for me. Of course, the funny thing there is, if something's on the ground, Donald, I need you to come get this for me. I'm the tallest person in the whole house. I understand if they need me to reach up and grab something for them. Okay, no big deal. They're short. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. But do they also have to have me reach to the floor? I might not have the worst knee in the building, but I'm pretty close to it. Y'all have seen the scar, you know what I'm saying. Just want some people around me that would do for themselves for a little bit. Is that too much to ask? And no, I'm not talking about y'all. Paul's sitting there throwing wrenches at people all over the place, left, right, sideways, and it's a pretty steady job for Paul. Martin runs one of the most entertaining hour and a halves on the YTPC and constantly searches for esoterica. Boris, is Wales winning? I'm hoping Wales wins. Boris keeps me entertained with all of his sports that I don't get good coverage of over here. I really wish I had better sports coverage here. The one TV I'm allowed to actually control everything on is so old it doesn't get ESPN Plus. No, France is winning. Great! Shows I shouldn't pick a team. Some of y'all don't make content, but y'all show up and y'all keep it lively. You make good conversation happening. Wait, did I miss something? I'm just trying to make sure. I guess you're talking about the snow in Arkansas in March. Yes, yes. And Martin, it's not really a plug. It's one of the most entertaining hour and a halves on the damn YTPC. Informative? Maybe. Entertainment? Definitely. Could have a perfect show planned out and the equipment fails. It still ends up being entertaining. How can I not be entertained when somebody is trying that hard and still keeps from cussing left, right, and sideways when everything goes completely berserk? I mean, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be smashing crap all over the place. It'd look like World War III happened right there in that garage. Oh, camera's gonna freeze up? Slam it into a freaking wall. Done. Hey, don't worry. My camera's froze up a few times just recently. It's all the app. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but it happens. Hey, Bart, the shots help us. Mostly with the LOLs. Mm-hmm. Because the redder your face goes, the funnier you seem to think you are. I mean, the funnier you get. And then let's look at the idea of D20. The D20 for Derek. D is the fourth letter of the alphabet. And then there's the number 20. So what you're basically saying is that Derek is in charge of the 420. Welsh Piper, hey, our team looks like it's going to lose the Six Nation rugby match against France. I say our team because I really wanted to see the Welsh team win. I even made mention of that. Salud. And no, that is not a shot. Oh, let's see about taking the mute and setting that sucker to temporary mute. And going for, I guess I only need 2 hours today. Because I done screwed up the first half hour for certain. Well, that might be true, but I really wanted to see the Welsh team win. And actually, I won't even get to see them win. I won't even get to see any of the game. I don't get to see any of the Six Nations games. No, I get to watch it on replay somewhere in the middle of the night if I get lucky and ESPN decides to put some highlights of it up. Yeah, it's like that. Not a problem. Hey, the Hughes name comes from somewhere in Wales, from what I was able to figure out. So, on my dad's side of the family, it's Irish and Welsh. Well, Boris, it was bound to happen sooner or later. And no offense to the French, on my mom's side of the family tends to be Italian, but they moved to France because they weren't allowing people from Italy over to America. So my family moved from somewhere near Milan to just barely across the border into France. Little town that I don't even rightly remember the name of. Haven't looked this stuff up in 15 years, so don't ask. Changed their name to a French name. Jumped on a boat, got over to United States of America, and immediately immigrated to the most Italian city that they could other than New York. That's right, Chicago. And then they moved north to Wisconsin. I could trace the family names on my mom's side back to, like, good Lord, the Dark Ages practically. It's ridiculous. Great records on that side of the family. I could trace my dad's family back to... yeah, let's not go there. I had to have a professional actually help me out severely, because horrible records. But one of the interesting things I found out when I was tracing my dad's family back is that his mother was the granddaughter of Cole Younger. A little bit of an outlaw there. And then we were able to trace that name, the Youngers, back to, well, they're the clan. I forgot the name for the material. What do they call it? There's a specific material that you're allowed to use as a clan, and theirs happens to be all Ireland blue, as far as the plaid goes. I don't know. I can't prove none of this, not directly right here in front of you, but had it traced. Just wanted to know. I'm not actually for certain what the term Black Irish means. But somehow that supposedly applies to my family name. I have no idea why. Oh, I know why I'm talking about family. That's right. I said yesterday I would share the overall results of a certain story that started off in a newspaper. Howdy, Steve and Miss Kathy. Sometime after somewhere well off into my 20s, I went looking for that newspaper reporter that wrote that fictitious story. And I had two stories. One was the front page, full-size story about my grandfather, which was lies. And the other one was a retraction that was printed in the classifieds that was smaller than the size of a postage stamp. This guy had went and become editor of a certain newspaper. Top dog. And I brought the big newspaper, and I asked, I was like, hey, I wanted to ask you some questions about this story. He took one look at it, big smile came across his face, and says, yeah, that story right there made my career. I've been walking on gold ever somewhere. As soon as he got to the word ever, I think the next words were going to be since, but I think somewhere in between that and the police showing up, I lost all sense, and I knocked the sense out of him. I probably went a bit too far. The judge asked me what the hell was going on. In all of the stuff was that one newspaper article. And taped into the bottom corner was the retraction. And I said to the judge, look, read the article, and then make sure you find that retraction that I taped to it. Oh, and here's my driver's license. Oh, and here's my grandfather's obituary. Oh, and here's the whole reason why I took so many beatings most of my life. And the judge asked the guy who was the editor, did you actually write this story? And the guy said, yeah, I wrote that story. And he looked at me and he says, this story is about your grandfather, isn't it? You know that it is. And this retraction is straight up saying that this whole story was false. And this guy's grandfather committed suicide on his birthday? He looked over at the newspaper man and he says, "You're lucky it's not my grandfather, because I'd have shot you. Take your beating and keep your shit in the straight legal sense. If it ain't honest, don't print it." It's like, I thought I was going to jail. I didn't have anything to do anyways, but I thought I was going to jail. Now, the judge took me to the side and he said, "I want you out of my city tonight. If you don't have a way to get out of here, I will put you on a bus to anywhere you're wanting to go, but don't come back." To this day, I still have not been back. The newspaper guy has since passed. He was... I feel bad about this. He was kind of a bit older than he needed to be to take that kind of a whipping. By the time I actually got around to delivering it to him. But to my dying day, I will tell you, my conscience on this is clear. He campaigned for that ass whooping, and he received it. He got elected right to it. And I'm fairly certain he probably felt ill will towards me to the end of his days. And they might have even printed a story about that whole incident happening. I'm betting as editor he squashed it. Hell, there's actually no bet there. I have friends that live in that town, and I was told specifically there was no mention of any of that in the newspapers. It is as silent as can be. The judge dropped the charges. I went away. I guess the dude's insurance paid the hospital bill. I busted him up pretty good. I'm not exactly happy that I lost it that way, but I did tell y'all a long time ago, I've got anger issues. I fight to control them on a regular basis. That was one of those bases where I didn't fight to control it. I knew what was going to happen when I walked in. I strive to be better. Like I said yesterday, I would give y'all the end of the story. That was the end of the story. Now, please, somebody type something, because I think my chat box has frozen. Okay. I guess it's working, because Bob said, there it is. Mark, I am sipping on an old-fashioned. That is bourbon, a sugar cube, 3 dashes of bitters, an orange peel, and a maraschino cherry. And I am smoking a Romeo y Julieta 1875 Churchill. No, it is not a Cuban. I just wanted to make sure I had plenty enough stick to go around. When I feel like having straight bourbon, I have straight bourbon, which is pretty much all the time. If I'm having bourbon, I'm having straight bourbon. By the way, I just saw that Larry Blackett put out a video about a coffee tamper. So if any of y'all are interested in going and watching that video, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I encourage it. That's what tailgating's about. Getting y'all to the better videos, the better shows. And this is the long one. Remember, we're still going for another hour and a half. Now, do I drink bourbon every day? No, not really. Ooh, Mark, very nice. I do like the Perdomo Lot 23s. They're fairly tasty. There's a lot of people that are just turned off by them. I think mostly it's because of the Perdomo name. And Perdomo tends to be very, very known for their cedar. You'll get a lot of cedar out of most of their sticks. Not saying all of them, but it's there. Oh, yeah. Believe me, Welsh, I have one of the 410 shotgun tampers from Larry. Larry Blackett, buttons for your britches in case you're looking for them. I've got a 410 shotgun shell tamper, and it's awesome. I don't bring it out here because it is pewter, and sometimes my hands just go numb. And when they go numb, I drop shit. That explains why the pinky is underneath the glass when I lift it. Because even if the hand goes numb, the pinky won't bend completely sideways without me seeing that, okay, well, I need to set the glass down, because it is glass. But it's very difficult to make that pewter go back to perfectly what it is, or what it's supposed to look like. And I've already dinged it up a few times, and I don't want to. So it kind of sits in a special place on the inside where it's not going to get knocked down very much, ever. And if I'm going someplace where there's going to be carpeting and I'm allowed to smoke, or it's not a concrete pad that I'm sitting on and I'm going to smoke, I'll bring it out for that. Which is why y'all don't see it very often. Oh yeah, Larry does some excellent work. Hey, there he is. He's just Chris from Canada. How's the weather up there, Chris? Sorry, I've been a little absent lately. I've just been real crazy, super busy. But I am catching most of your live feeds on reruns either real early in the morning or real late at night. In fact, this is part 2 of a tailgate because part 1 got shut down. I didn't even get 15 minutes in, and yank, there goes the plug on that one. Whew. I can only imagine that if it's a little bit chilly here, it's cold as all get out in Canada. I have to believe that it is a very rare occasion where it's colder in Houston than it is in Canada. I don't know, maybe during the summertime, if y'all are in the middle of a heat wave and we get a little cold snap, maybe that's possible. I mean, we get down to the 80s every once in a while in summer. Yes, sir, Monte Cristo. I used to work at the Casa de Monte Cristo. And they really liked it when we'd rep their brand. Of course, anytime that we were having an event, we would definitely get swag from the other companies because they would really like it if we would rep their brand, at least for the night. Yeah. Chris, I could definitely see that when you see stuff like I'm bundled up and it's not even snowing. And you're sitting there laughing outrageously. Look at this dumbass Texan. He can't handle the cold. Yeah. By the way, did y'all see the Briar Report blog? That's the blog, by the way. Yeah. There I am wearing a Go USA hat and cheering on the Maple Leafs and drinking a Molson? Yeah. Come on, Unibrew and the Capitals. If I'm going to cheer for hockey, it's going to be the Capitals. I'm betting Boris knew that statement. I've said it enough. Ovechkin's like pretty much the only Russian person on the planet that I'm allowed to like right now. I think pretty much all the rest of them are completely outlawed due to what's happening on the other side of the planet. Where a very large country is invading a country that is roughly the size of Texas. And the smaller country, the one that's the size of Texas, is doing pretty damn good. But I'm not talking about no wars, just saying. Oh, practically one of y'all, eh? I have been to Canada a few times. I one time rode from Detroit to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Welsh, actually, I don't watch any cigar reviews. Part of that is because while I was working in a cigar shop, yeah, Boris, I understand, but he plays for my team. And really, I'm an Oshie fan now, but that's a different story. It's just that Ovechkin still plays for my team. Howdy, Steve the Piper. Means we've got 2 Marks and 2 Steves in today. But there's only 1 Boris. And 1 Chris. There's a few Donalds in the YTPC wandering around. No big deal. Just saying. There's only 1 Todd. That's true. That's true. Damn, Boris has got strong feelings there. All right, Boris. All right. I'll back off of that statement. Don't worry, he's going to retire sooner or later anyways. And he's not Gretzky. All right? I mean, okay, let's be honest. Until somebody else figures out how to score 200 points in a season or obtain 200, I don't know how that works. Does that mean you actually have to put the puck in the net 200 times in a season? Or is there a point scoring route that gives people points somehow, some way? Howdy, Matthew. Great to see you, sir. That's always confused me. But you can look it up. There is only 1 person that has ever scored 200 points in the NHL in a season. And he's done it twice. And next closest scored 199, and that's Lemieux. Oh, Welsh, yeah. I would hate to imagine that anybody could ever find the aroma of that bundle of cigars that way, or that box of cigars that way, to be anything other than pleasant. And you can take my word for it, I opened many and many boxes of various different cigars. Except for some of the infused ones that you just want to never open again. They all smell so... there's just this clean, fresh... It's hard to explain. But if you ever open a single box of cigars that you actually enjoy, you're going to know that feeling. And if you tend to like a whole lot of cigars, well, I'll be honest, working at a cigar shop was fun. Super easy. Fun. It got to the point in my time there where somebody would walk up with a cigar that had no barcode or anything on it, and I would punch in the correct barcode. I didn't have to go look for it. which was really great when inventory happened and you would have to know what each and every barcode was, and then you'd punch it in, and then you'd give them a number of this many. Because there are a lot of cigars out there that are not banded or barcoded. You either have to put it on there yourself, or you have to know what it is. And you don't want to lose money. At least I didn't want to lose money. And in case y'all are hearing a whole lot of wind from time to time, that's because we are having a weird wind gust situation. Welsh, I've had some really, really inexpensive cigars that I really, really loved. And I've had some really expensive cigars that I've really loved. I say opening a box of cigars is always a little special for me. Yeah, maybe it's just me. I never minded what the price tag on the box was. If I enjoyed smoking it, I enjoyed it. For my birthday one year, I got a box of Padron 1s. That would be the 1926, what a lot of people would say is the Padron top of the line. It's around $500 a box here in Texas. Prices and participation may vary in your location. Loved it. But I will also tell you, I opened up a box of Alec Bradley Project 40s. Little $5 cigar. Whole box for about $100. Still really loved it. Maybe it's just me. Well, Welsh, how far are you from being 60, brother? Granted, those of us here in the United States aren't going to be able to help you because the sticks you're talking about, they're Cuban. And I mean, people might be able to donate, help you out in some way. But it's almost impossible for us to get Cubans I mean, there's a few ways that we can do it, don't get me wrong, but when you start talking about shipping a box of Cuban cigars, you start running a real risk that that shit's going to just disappear in the mail. Second week of May. Ooh. That would be an awful tight call. Even if people started donating now, they might not be able to get it all to you by then. Well, hopefully it'll happen for you, brother. But like I said, I do know which sticks you were talking about. They're good. They're very good. I'm lucky to get those one at a time here. And that's normally somebody has a friend that knows another friend that knows another friend, and somebody is going to Nicaragua, and somebody else is going to Cuba, and somehow they meet in the Dominican Republic. It gets pretty convoluted by the time you get around to getting Cubans here in the United States, or you're ordering from one of those few places that will allow it to happen. Well, I mean, Welsh, I'm just letting you know, I would love to see it happen, but most of the people that actually listen to this station, unfortunately, tend to be in the United States. There's Boris, who is, of course, not, and you, and Paul, and Sharon. Well, just Chris, and Everett. Sometimes Mike from Briar Blues likes to make a showing. By the way, if y'all haven't been to Briar Blues lately, and you haven't been keeping up with the Nashville Mafia lately, y'all might want to do something about that. It tends to be that there's a website known as Briar Blues, and they've got a discount, but you have to watch the latest Nashville Mafia live stream. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what the discount code is, because I want y'all to go to the Nashville Mafia live and watch the live stream, even if it's in replay. But money saved. No, well, I didn't think you were asking. I was just thinking that that's kind of expensive. And that you might need some help. Granted, there's been other things go on recently for you, and you know, prayers are still there for you, brother. And if you feel like discussing what has been happening in your own backyard, that's fine. I'm not. I don't feel it is my position to try and tell everybody, hey, this guy's been having a bad spot of things. It's not a problem, Welsh. Oh, by the way, for anybody who's wondering, yeah, I listen to a lot of shows, and what I hear kind of stays locked away in there. And then it's like a test. It just openly comes right back out whenever I need it to. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. My wife says that it's sometimes extremely scary how I'll meet somebody for like 10-15 minutes, won't remember their name at all. And 2 years later, I'll be asking them questions about that event and that time that was in their life. Like it was yesterday. I won't remember your name. Don't get me wrong. It's not happening. I don't remember names. I'm horrible with names. Hell, I'm lucky if I remember my name by the end of the night. I'm betting Martin's the same way. Hashtag exclamation point shot. By the way, Welsh, did what was going on get worked out in a more satisfactory manner than what it was last time we actually talked about it? I know last time we were talking about it, it seemed like the whole situation had basically turned into a shit show, and I wouldn't wish that kind of crap on anybody. Not even enemies. So definitely not friends. No big deal, just saying. I am still looking forward to trying for the very first time bacon old fashioned. And supposedly, someone who's been trying to pick on me lately, he's almost doing a good job, but Phil, come on. It's okay, Phil. Anyways, I'm supposed to be getting some blisteringly hot pieces of chocolate or bar of chocolate or chocolates that are already set up to burn your insides out from the outside or outsides from the inside or however that works. Not a problem, Mark. Just remember, keeping your health in order. It's hard, and you get older, and it gets harder. Steve, I'm right there with you. hell, there's whole times in my life where I thought my last and I thought my first name was Mother. I'm not going to tell you what the last name was. Might get in trouble. Started singing Danzig songs just because of how often I was called Mother. Somebody knows the reference there. Oh yeah. Well, look. Bill Cosby might have done some wrong, but some of the things he said were sure right on off right. I think Boris is laughing about the Danzig reference. It is kind of funny. No, I'm not going to torture y'all with a non-musical accompaniment version. It's not happening. That would be wrong. So many levels. Damn it. Had this cigar in my pocket all day. I guess I dinged the jacket. That sounds very tasty, Boris. Hey, well, Boris started it. Let's make it official. Bowl call. What are you smoking and what are you smoking it in? Of course, I'm still working on this Churchill, Romeo and Julieta, 1875. Natural wrapper. Welsh, it feels like I've been working on bourbon my whole entire adult life. Always liked bourbon. The particular bourbon that I'm working with is Balcones, which is a Texas bourbon. Not really a fan. I think they need to age it longer. Howdy, Mike. Great to see you, sir. I won't ask what you're going to smoke in whichever pipe that you choose to ponder upon. I am fairly certain that you will make the right choice, sir. And for you, I'm fairly certain that that right choice will be Escudo. I've had some Escudo. It's very good. Mike was nice enough to do something for the Nashville Mafia, and I don't know if he wants to discuss it here. He can if he wants to, because that's his business choices. Steve smoking Carter Hall at a billiard. But I did make sure to mention that people need to be going to the Nashville Mafia, and they need to be actually watching the Nashville Mafia, and that they might be pleasantly surprised about going there. And there it is. You saw it here. 15%. But you better go watch some Nashville Mafia, otherwise you might not know. Howdy, Dan. Great to see you, sir. Dan, while Texas heat might cause the aging process to be accelerated, when you're used to a 12-year and they give you a 4-year, and you're thinking maybe they should double that time, it does get pretty hot in Kentucky. I mean, it's got a good flavor. It's just, it's got a certain harshness that I'm wishing was a little bit more aged, more smooth, more refined. Got a whole pack of Canadians in here now. All right. And for any of y'all who were not here earlier, no, I was not drinking a Molson. I'd go Labatt Blue or anything from Unibrew before I went with Molson. And I'm still not cheering for the Maple Leafs. Don't hate on me for not cheering for the Maple Leafs. Did I go to the post office? No, sir, I have not been to the post office. Was I supposed to go to the post office? I didn't know I was supposed to go to the post office. If they're saying that something's delivered, that means it's on the truck and it'll be delivered today. That's cool. That means that my post office guy, who hasn't been here yet, he normally has really long days on Friday. By the way, howdy, James. Great to see you, sir. See, Dan's right there with me on this one. I mean, if I got to pick any one brewery in Canada that I'm going to just stay, this is it. I'm never going to change beers ever again. And that means I'm never going to have another Texas beer, and I'm never going to have any of the other wonderful beers I've had from anywhere else in the country. It has to be Canadian. And it has to be a single brewery. Then Unibrew is going to be where I'm going to be. And no, it's not because they had Megadeth beer. I was a Unibrew fan way before they came out with their Megadeth beer. Not a problem, Mike. You take care. It's been great catching up with you, sir. Uh, and hopefully YouTube quits letting me know about your videos about 45 minutes into a live that's only going an hour. You've never had that beer. Okay, so don't look for Unibrew as a beer. Look for Unibrew as a brewery. And then as a brewery, yeah, La Fin du Monde is great. Maudite is phenomenal. There's, quite honestly, I have yet to have anything from Unibrew that I would not sip because it was so good, but found myself chugging it because it was so damn good. I mean, you're sitting there with that sip that turns into a gulp, that turns into just, screw it, I got another bottle right there, I'll just turn this one up and finish it. And then you find out that the alcohol content is surprisingly high, and suddenly you're laying on the floor going like, I shouldn't have done that. But, oh yeah. They have failed to ever make anything that did not impress me. And I've drank thousands of different labels of beer. I've only had hundreds of labels of bourbon. And I'm really surprised that we've had it here in Houston and someplace as close to Canada as you are, Matthew, has not had it. I mean, that's kind of shocking. Yeah, it's right around in there. And Maudite is 8.7% alcohol by volume, if I remember correctly. On the lower levels of alcohol, like the Megadeth beer, which is a Saison, is only like 6%, which is still high compared to some, but it's more reasonable. Yeah, I've had it. If I have to drink a Canadian beer, it's going to be something from Unibrew. Yeah, just trust me on that. And no, I'm not saying that that's the only brewery in the damn world that I would trust, but there it is. Now, Matthew, I would agree with that. It is pretty prevalent up there. I remember hanging out with a couple of local guys from Tonawanda up in their area. And we pretty much drank Canadian beers all night. Then they called last call, and they sat there in their booth and they ordered 3 beers. Each one of them ordered 3 beers. And I was like, well, okay, cool, you can order 3 beers. Do we have to leave? I'm not sure I can drink 3 beers in the last 15 minutes. They're like, no, you order 3 beers. They're going to close down for an hour. And during the hour, while you're drinking your 3 beers, they clean up, and then they open right back up. I kind of enjoyed that crap. That doesn't happen in Texas. No, when it's last call, you will drink whatever it is that you're drinking, and then you will get up and leave after paying your tab. Done. After they cleaned up and they opened back up, we went and sat out on the patio and continued drinking. We didn't have nothing to do the next day. Just don't judge. Just remember, it's hard to drink all day if you don't start early. Of course, that reminds me of a place that in Boston, I felt like having a beer. Bartender, beer. Well, which beer? Oh, just anyone. Pick me one. That's fine. He said, well, we've got just about any beer you can name. 15 beers in, and he still couldn't produce any of those because they didn't have those beers. And I finally convinced him to just pick me one. So he produced Yingling. A lot of people like Yingling. Not this person. That tasted like someone took a Ziegenbach and set it out in the sun all day and then gave it a quick rinse with some ice water and then served it. Matthew, they switched to 2 a.m. Oh, God, no. We got to remember, this was back in somewhere around 04, 05, 06. I don't specifically remember. It was right around the 4th of July. I probably got a picture of it somewhere. Not the bar that I was hanging at, but somewhere. I know if I go searching for it, the stream will lock up, and then I won't be able to continue, and I'll have to restart. 3rd time's the charm, right? I'll make sure to bring that one to the next one. I got a real good picture of the Maid of the Mist, and a great picture of Horseshoe Falls, but from the American side. By the way, if you're going to go to Niagara Falls, go to the Canadian side and look at it from there. It's much more impressive. And in case you're wondering what's the difference between Niagara Falls and Horseshoe Falls, less than 100 yards. And Horseshoe Falls is what everybody thinks of as Niagara Falls. Been there a few times. Practically got robbed at the Hard Rock Cafe in Canada. I collect the Pilsner glasses. You know, the ones that look kind of remotely like a baseball bat. Went into the Hard Rock Cafe, ordered the souvenir glass full of beer, saw that it was going to be $15. Handed a 20 in American to the bartender. They didn't produce any change. I was like, hey, wait. Because at the time, U.S. money was worth about 1 1/4 of what Canadian money was. And the prices were listed in Canadian, so $15, I did the math. I should have gotten a pretty good little chunk of change back. They only brought me $4 in change Canadian. So I told the bartender, hey, that's fine. Y'all cheated me out of the money. There was your tip. Have fun with that. I left with my glass. I was going to tip. Well, I probably would have left the rest of it if they'd at least produced something for change to begin with. Not like I was pinching pennies. Hell, the job I had was paying damn good money. Paid off a truck inside of a year because I didn't have any other bills. It was easy. Good work, enjoyable environment, and then I got cheated in Canada. That's okay. I have since been back to Canada. Oh, so it's actually more lopsided now. Yeah, $15 Canadian, and you hand them a $20 bill American, and they keep change. Like I said, I would have left the money that was left over as change had they at least attempted to bring me something kind of like change. And then when they did bring me change, they only brought me $4 in Canadian money, 2 paper and 2 paper and 2 coins, however that worked out. Not a problem, Welsh. You take care. And there's no mix-up, brother. It's fine. I'm just trying to make it happen for you. You take care, and we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Note, I don't ask for anything for myself, but I would definitely try to help y'all out. Love you too, sir. Just make sure to take care of yourself, because we're hoping to see you around for many years. Hell, they told me I wouldn't live to see 21. That was over 21 years ago. I'll make it to 60. I hope. Yeah, but it is too bad that I wrecked the jacket on this damn cigar. It's a nice cigar. Dan, I actually have not tried the chopped cigar leaf. But I do save bits and pieces of the cigars as I cut them and chop them, and I store them back in a can to blend in with other various stuff. And I'm not sure if y'all remember me showing you the Leaf by Oscar cigar. Leaf by Oscar cigar comes wrapped in a very tasty cigar leaf. And the easiest way to deal with that is to break out some scissors and just cut it up straight into whatever blend you happen to be enjoying, but would feel that a little bit of cigar leaf added in would be a good thing. And I've done that many a time. I always worry about cigar leaf blends. Partly because there's times where I've had a few that it has just been way overpowering on the blend. To the point where you can't taste anything else but the cigar leaf. And I mean, if all I wanted to taste was a single cigar leaf, I would prefer to be able to blend it myself. I guess that's just me. Or I probably is not just me, but that is just my preference. But there's many good C&D blends that I have enjoyed. I mean, there's always the one and only Haunted Bookshop. Oh, Steve, no. You can't be the only one, brother. I've been doing that for years. Ever since I got my first ever pipe, which I was mostly using just to finish off a good cigar. After that, I started saving all the little cut pieces and get enough of them to make a bowl of it and Smoke it down. Right, Dad. It adds a lot of volume to the smoke. But just a tiny bit too much, and there's what blend. That all tastes like a single cigar leaf. Not that a single cigar leaf is always going to taste horrible, but I always feel like I'm trying to blend a cigar when all I can taste is a single leaf. Oh, Dad, cigars are too expensive anywhere to waste. I mean, there's times where I get down to the nub and I brush the ashes off, and then I will chop what's left up directly into a can. Because maybe I've got an aromatic blend that is just not going to make it. Like, oh, I don't know, Captain Black Grape. What can I do to take that much grape out of that blend? I'll figure it out. I guess the last cigar blend that I had that is C&D, it's not actually C&D, but it is C&D, is Warped. I had the Cloud Hopper, which is pretty good, but it was not what I was expecting, because I was expecting it to taste like the cigar, and it doesn't. I was a little disappointed by that. But I worked a little bit with it and added a few things and blended it up and got it back to something closer to what I remember the cigar tasting like. Did I take notes? No, I just a little bit here, a little bit there until I got it pretty close to what I remember the Cloud Hopper tasting like. Was it exact? No. But it's pretty decent after I screwed with it for a while. And there's some blends out there from every cigar maker that would work real well with a little bit of some sort of pipe tobacco, and vice versa. I was doing too much stuff today. I screwed up my cigar. Oh well. One of these days I've got to figure out a way to get with 3M products and figure out a way to get a tobacco paper with a mild adhesive that they could sell like Scotch tape for cigars. If I could get it to work, I think it would sell. What do you think? Cigar tape. Now you don't have to throw out your Cuban because it's got one little nick in the jacket. Not the windiest it's ever been, but just enough to keep it from getting the full effect of the actual heat of the day. By the way, it is 5:10. We're around 20 minutes from now. I've got to ask a question of somebody who's here. Steve and Miss Kathy, are y'all still keeping Glum Chum's spot open for him? Or will Glum Chum be on this evening? Which does not hurt my feelings either way. I just want to make sure that I'm telling people to go to the right area here in about 20 minutes. Because I would hate to be telling people, hey, yeah, we're going to Glum Chum's, and Glum's not on. It's all Steve and Kathy. But I'd be hating to tell them, hey, go to Steve and Kathy's, but Glum Chum's actually on. Again, I'm not pushing anybody to make any decisions. I'm just hoping those decisions have already been made. That, and if it starts raining like it's feeling like it's going to, I hope y'all will be able to hear me when I say where we're going. Or if nothing else, I'll finish out the cigar and then we'll wait for Cane Rod. Or y'all can wait for Cane Rod, because I'll go in and probably get in trouble for things I said earlier. Uh-oh, the Night Piper subscribed to my channel. Ooh, and the Raiders have announced a multi-year extension with Max Crosby. That's good news for my team. If it's not going to run too expensive and then make it so that they can't field a decent team. He's a hell of a good player, though. Did chat freeze on me? Anybody type anything. I'll try it myself. Well, chat works from my end. Oh, okay. There we go. So Steve and Miss Kathy will be on. Always enjoyable. Again, Matt and Doug, well, they're dealing with some family issues that on the tragic level. So if y'all are the kind that wants to let them know that you're thinking about them, pop into any of their videos that they've got, let them know. Holly came out, but I didn't get the look, so I might not have gotten myself killed.
For what?
For being the royal bastard that I normally am. Boris, that is very true about the salaries. And Max Crosby probably deserves a nice, big, fat salary, but I'm just hoping that it's not so far into the salary cap that they can't field a decent team because of it. Steve and Miss Kathy will be inside today. That'll be nice. I think it's finally starting to get below the 60-degree mark here.
I think, Holly, tasting the broth with that, I think if we put the, cream of celery soup in that, and then doing, the peas and the carrots, putting that in it and use that as a base. Because it's really good broth. So, and then just cook the noodles separate and drain them.
Okay.
Well, I know what we'll be working on now. We went together like peas and carrots. Sorry, it kind of always goes there for me. Didn't have a nap today. Had one yesterday. Didn't have one today. Scary enough, I'm feeling it. That's all right. Sounds like I'm going to be having something good for dinner. So let's see what's coming up for the rest of the day for the YTPC. Of course, there's Steve and Miss Kathy filling in for Glum Chum. And right after them will be Cane Rod Piper. And then at the (9:00) Eastern time, there's Martin at Over a Pipe, and tends to be, even after that, some people tend to get together with either a Zoom meeting or somebody will go live. Kind of an impromptu thing. But it's the weekend. Good time to relax. Unwind. Have a good time with it. Unless, of course, you work for the Chinese government, because I just got this look that tells me that that was a thought that went through Holly's head. I'm okay. So far. So far, so good. It's like jumping off a building. Every 10 floors, you scream, so far, so good. I just got a reminder that James Scott Stumbo sent me 2 messages. I saw them, so I'm not sure why. I'm being reminded that Stumbo sent me 2 messages. One of them happens to be the recipe for the egg pickling brine. If y'all didn't see the first part of the show yesterday, y'all missed out. I ate a pickled egg. Tasty. And unlike those people who have a digestive tract that can't handle it, I didn't have that gas problem. Or at least I didn't seem to have that gas problem. Maybe it hit me after I went to sleep. I didn't smell it. Of course, my cat didn't sleep up there with me last night. Maybe there might have been. He likes to aggressively sprawl all over the bed. Sometimes you will wake with claws and fangs in your hand. It is awesome that his cancer treatments are steroids. Let's give a large, strong, aggressive cat steroids, because that will help. Yeah. Right up until you scream, ah! Oh, all right, Boris. Do you need prayers for that doctor on Monday morning? Which is, of course, our Sunday night. Hopefully it's just a checkup, regular maintenance type visit. For anybody who doesn't understand this, a regular maintenance type visit is to go in and say, hey, you know, these were your levels last year of this, and this. Okay, we've checked it again. We'll get back to you in a couple of weeks and tell you whether you have to come back in. Oh, good, it is a checkup. In today's world, COVID on one side, all kind of craziness on the other. Checkups aren't so scary. If I had a job with some insurance, I'd be doing some checkups. I'm at that age where I start thinking, oh, might need to go get some things checked out anyways. once I get a job. That's one of the many things on the list. That and driving up to Jonesboro, Arkansas so I could see a dentist. I'm not actually driving to Jonesboro, Arkansas just to see a dentist.
I would if he's good and he deals with calcified.
I might drive Holly to Jonesboro, Arkansas to see a dentist. Babe, I'm sure he's pretty good at pulling teeth. It is Arkansas. Howdy, Everett. Everett, by the way, we will be going from here to Steve and Miss Kathy. That's Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy. There's a dash in between Bear and Wolf. In fact, they've got a comment that's right up there. And that's coming up pretty shortly. Don't want to leave anybody out. Boris, is she pretty? I mean, if you're going to meet up with her every 6 months, you're the one that said it's a her, too. So. Maybe you should put some of them suave moves on her. She likes the beard, right, Boris? You can agree. We know. We know. By the way, this is 2.5 months. This is all that's grown in 2.5 months. Yes, I have shaved off the cheeks. Mostly because they don't grow in at all. And I'm shaving them only once a week. Come on, look at there. That's a week's worth of growth there. Well, Dan, I mean, while it's true she doesn't handle the giblets, do you really want your lady friend who is a doctor to be handling every set of giblets that comes along? Or do you just want her to have decent looks and the ability to have a really nice paycheck? Oh, Boris, that's a rough lick there. Oh well. I was hoping for you though. Mark, that is true. I do save a ton on razor blades. Shaving once a week and only half the face. I can make one set of one razor blade last months. Heck, I didn't shave in February at all. No, wait. I shaved twice in February. I didn't shave in January at all. All right, so it is 5:30. Let's be watching for Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy to show up. Oh, Mark, I didn't say that was a bad thing. I'm just saying that for me, this does not grow. It would take me now till Methuselah to actually grow a Boris beard. Oh, Boris, yeah, we definitely hope that's full on the case. All right, and Steve and Miss Kathy are ready to go. So whenever you're ready, sir, you know we're all waiting patiently for you to be ready. But if y'all need a few more minutes, get your canoodling out the way. You know we don't mind. Hey, and Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy have gone live. So, thank y'all, everybody, for being here. It's been so much fun having y'all. I appreciate y'all showing up. It's great to see all of y'all. Hopefully, y'all are all well and happy and healthy. As per always, remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And like always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Talk to y'all soon. See you over at Steve and Miss Kathy's. I'll be there in just a minute. Bye for now.
I'm gonna need you to use your mandolin thing.